You know, it's been 3 years, Tabitha, but I'm so glad at long last that you brought the moose to life.
Yeah.
Moose!
The moose and Rebecca, the beautiful moose that you are.
Oh, thanks, you.
All right. Are we moving on to questions?
Well, we got I'd say about 10 minutes, so we can take a few questions, if you guys would like to do that. So, do you have a microphone? The script ran longer than we expected, which is a good thing.
That was an awesome
It's
script.
an awesome thing.
I think we should record every session like this.
Okay, so actually, if anybody was here yesterday, when Jen Blake was hosting the panel, she had cards that people were able to write questions on. Our lovely staffer Sarah is going to be running around with those cards. There she is. She has cards. If you have a question, remember we have about 10 minutes right now, but there is a VA panel tomorrow where you'll have a lot more time for Q&A. But if you have a pressing concern, you have to know right now, and it isn't a spoiler and it's family friendly, then you can get a card from her, write it down, and she'll bring them up here, and we'll ask questions. In the meantime, while that process proceeds, I just want to welcome all of you to Milwaukee again. So first, quick question for the panel. If people have questions, raise your hand. She'll go over to you with the cards. Then you can write them down. How many on the stage here, this is your first time in Wisconsin?
In here.
Now, I know you guys all live in Vancouver, so how do you like seeing actual, residual snow that stays?
Love it.
Love it.
I wanted to go out and play in it.
I know AC Race Best is used to snow in Southern California.
Oh yeah, we're used to all sorts of water in Southern California.
Water from the tears of despair.
That's not a joke either.
Actually, I'm going to ask a question based off of this blind reading here because it was something I noticed as I was going. I had to adapt, and I'm not used to reading scripts. I'm not a voice actor like you guys.
You did really
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah.
Great. It's actually one of the harder things.
And I noticed this especially, and we've talked about this in the past. Actually, like you were able to switch between your voices really quickly on the page. But beyond that, the other you and the other voice actors too were able to read because this is the first time you guys read this script, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were.
Well, I read it at home, like online. But, like,
You
after
cheated.
the sentence-
You cheated. We talked about that.
I always cheat. First time we read it out loud. Yeah, it's the first time we read it out loud with each other. Mm-hmm.
Well, in the script, like for example, just as a little insight for people, there are moments where there's direction in terms of emotional direction, etc. For example, there's a scene where Rarity is pouting and it says sniffing. When you're in a recording session, how much in the way of like mental preparation do you guys have for being able to just immediately switch into a new emotion, or is that something that you just become used to, like that you read it almost like sheet music? It's a random question, but like I noticed you were able to adapt to the various emotions even when it's a blind read, just based on a few words.
I think you really get caught up in the story. I just go into like storytelling mode, and I don't know. It just kind of reads itself in a way, or like
Sure.
you're just like in it, and obviously you're gonna feel that emotion because like everyone in the room or everyone on the panel is trying to tell the same story. So it's just sort of a natural reflex, I guess.
And sometimes you don't get it right away, right? We're lucky.
Yeah.
Like this was sort of a one-time go for it. A couple times we stumbled, but sometimes you're reading your line and you're like, I don't know what these words are saying. And it might even take the other people in the room going, no, it means like, the thing and the thing. Like, oh. And then you read it again. You get another opportunity to read it again. They won't take a bad read. They'll keep going until you get it right, which sometimes can be really punishing, and you can feel like very embarrassed. But they'll make it so that the script makes sense and reads right and has the right energy.
Well, I have some questions now. So this is for everyone, and this is from Sophia AJ. I believe that's probably you, this is Celestia. Yep, this is your question.
Hi, you're beautiful.
How did you learn to be so good at making the ponies' voices?
Years of practice, sweetie.
You've been doing it for how long now?
Pretty long time.
Since 2010.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a lot of chances to get it right. Yeah. But thank you for saying that we're really good at it. I kind of want to give you a hug.
It's true. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. We'll give a hug.
Oh my goodness, we need to put her on stage because she's so beautiful, right? Oh wait. Oh, she's coming. She's coming. Tabitha.
Running around there.
It's okay. It'll be a good photo op. Look at how pretty that dress is. Oh my goodness.
Aww.
I think to expand on that, I think like some of our characters, I got a little bit of flack for this yesterday. Our character started at a different place when the series first started. I know that Applejack was pitched higher in my voice, but I think like as the series has gone on, you kind of find your character and like you find where they sit and what their attitude is and what your body kind of takes on when you're playing them. So I think it's taken a long time for some of the characters to like get to the place they are now. So
And be comfortable in those
Yeah.
places.
In the old days, they used to make me do lots and lots of granny takes. Because I had it in my head that it'd be really funny if she was subtitled. I really did. And it was just my own vision. I think she was a religion of one. So Granny basically sounded like, it's ready, it's ready.
clarity time.
Sorry about that.
This question is for you, Ashley. Did you voice Lyra Heartstrings on the Slice of Life episode? I believe you did.
I think so. What one was that?
The green
Ah.
pony. That
Well,
was
I know, but
arguing-
what episode? I don't.
That was the 100th
100th episode.
Oh yeah, of course.
It was,
That was
it
me.
was you and Andrea. I think.
Yeah, it was me and little Boo, little Andrea. Fun little playful relationship we have going on.
I'm glad somebody asked this question because I know for sure Tabitha is guilty of this. Who does the voices of the animals on the show? Yep.
Animals.
I play Big Macintosh.
Oh, the bunnies and stuff.
Angel and Tank, right?
Well, Gummy was Lee Tokar.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gummy's inner dialogue.
Brilliant.
I think it might be Jim and the lads. I'm not really sure.
Well, you did Philomena the
Oh, Philomena, yeah. Well, she only had one appearance of, cholera. Yeah, it was good. Well, she dies, yes.
Ah.
She gets rewarded. She's a phoenix. She's a phoenix.
No.
I think a lot of it is sound effects, though, probably, maybe, or
I think they are, and I think maybe that just, well, I'm not sure about it, but I think maybe Jim and so forth still. Yeah.
Well, and I know that in the past, like when somebody at one point was asking about pumpkin cake, and pound cake, and other incidental voices. When you go into a recording session, I mean, isn't it that they have like lists of incidental voices and you guys just kind of shoot at it? Is that right? I mean, if that's
yeah, a lot of the time we'll just be assigned like pony number 2 or disgruntled wonder mole or whatever.
this is an interesting question. This is from Kyle of the Acting Studio in Chicago, and it asks, would having experience in other forms of acting, theater, on camera, etc., would that help with your voice acting, or has it helped with your voice acting?
Yes. Yep. All the way, yes.
100%.
I think a lot of people
Yep.
are big improv people, and improv I know really helps. But anything that you do feeds your well, and I would say if you wanted to be a voice actor, very definitely take all other forms of acting classes. Theater is particularly valuable, improv particularly valuable.
Get in front of audiences.
Yeah.
and singing lessons too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these two right here are incredible musicians. So.
And music helps. You know, there's often times when all of a sudden you'll be doing a season and they'll be like, hey, your character has a song this episode. If you haven't had any like music lessons or anything like
They're
that,
kinda
you
screwed.
might want to get into that. A coach.
There was no sonata in the script, so this person would like Marika to say Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
We can get lunch after though, right? It's Taco Tuesday!
Okay. And yeah, actually, we only have a couple more minutes. I'm going to do just a couple more. I like this question. In honor of Amy King Rogers, whose last episode in Pony was aired today, are there any writers whose scripts you enjoy in particular? When you're reading a script, if you see a certain writer, does that resonate in some time?
Tabitha St. Germain.
Yeah.
You really did capture the essence of all their characters. I think they should hire you as a writer, seriously.
I always like Dave Polsky's scripts. Yeah, Dave Polsky's good.
Well, I know that Race and Saber's favorite author is Emily Larson.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Shakespeare, but
Did he write Pony? Did he?
sure I did.
Yeah, he probably did.
Kingdom for the Horse.
Yeah, that's exactly. Chicken third.
They're all great.
They're all
Everyone,
really
yeah,
awesome.
they all go through a lot of a big process to make it to us, I'm sure. So they're always great scripts.
All right, two more questions here. First is, are there any other particular projects or entertainment field stuff or otherwise that you guys are working on or are yes, or are especially interested in this time of year?
This time of year.
Or now as opposed to?
Just in general, like other projects or like maybe directing opportunities. Because I noticed with a lot of voice actors in other companies, they have production, directing, all that stuff. So I was wondering if you guys were interested or are doing that.
Well, Ashley's a terrible underachiever, as you all know. Right, Ash?
Right. Yeah. Aim low. I'm writing an album right now, so that's like tricky. Without my band, so that's even harder. But,
Wow.
Yeah, trying to make music and do voiceover stuff, and that balance, and yeah, just working on shows, other shows than My Little Pony, and yeah, making music, pumping out the tunes. Man.
Yeah! Go away, Ocean!
Mike's playing at a lot of shows as well.
Yeah, it's Christmas season, and I sing in a band that does like a lot of parties and events, like weddings, and it's another way to make money in this type of world to like play parties and things like that. And I'm gonna be singing a lot of like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" this season, probably. Working on that. It's always like, okay, I'm ready for this. You get through like an hour and a half of singing, they're like, okay, all I want for Christmas. Oh God. No problem. So super fun, but it's great because you get to dress up in sparkly dresses and dance and sing on stage. I love
I
it.
just dress up in sparkly dresses and dance.
If Peter
I don't
comes
get
along.
paid for it right now.
Peter comes along all the time. I bring Peter as my cheerleader.
All right. Well, got one last thing to bring up, but yeah, also after this panel, there's going to be a screening of the episode that aired today.
Yes!
This is a good thing. I'll be directly after this panel in just a few minutes. Also wanted to announce and let you guys know, if you haven't seen it on the schedule, these guys are going to be signing autographs, I believe starting at 1:30 over in the autograph room, and they'll be there for 2 hours. So if you need something signed, which most people do, that would be a good opportunity for that. So before we, oh yeah, there's a kid sitting on too. Would you
Yeah, there's a kids sing along, so all these beautifully
Aw.
costumed kids. It's for any age, and if you want to come and sing with me and Ashley, we're gonna from 4 till 5. I'm not exactly sure what room it's in, but please
It's
come
probably
and
children's programming.
please come and meet us and sing songs with us, and there'll be. We'll see. There's a lot of lyrics on that one, but it would be great to see you and sing with you guys.
So the last thing I'm going to bring up here is, this is from her mom. There's a girl here named Abby over there, I believe, and it's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Abby!
So just her mom wanted to see if we could say happy birthday to her. So
We
happy
can
birthday.
sing.
Well, you can
Sing it!
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy
birthday, dear Abby. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Abby!
That's birthday for her.
She says she loves you guys. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out for this panel. Again, there will be another VA panel tomorrow. So if you have additional questions that didn't get addressed